I'm Yukta Parmar, and I will be talking about Children's Personality Questionnaire formed by Rutherford, Burchard, and Raymond Cattell in 1956. Description of the test, what the test measures, psychometric properties, application and uses of the test, and the critical analysis will be discussed today about the test. What is personality? Personality is a unique combination of pattern that influences behavior, thought, motivation, and emotion in a human being. According to the co-founder of this test, Raymond Cattell, personality is a pattern of traits and that helps to understand his personality and predict his behavior. What are characteristics of personality? It is consistent in nature. It is influenced by biological processes and needs. It causes behavior and actions and multiple expressions. Description of the test. The self-report personality test of children from age 8 to 8 to 12. It is developed by Rutherford, Porter, and Raymond Cattell in 1956 as mentioned above. It can be used to measure their personal, social, and academic development and assess to their personality that mediates performance in school and social adjustment, both inside and outside the classroom. The test measures 14 dimensions of personality in children. The 14 dimensions of personality that are being measured are identified by R.B. Cattell, who noted that they are objectively determined source trait. There are four forms of SCPQ tests available. One handbook of incorporates information that prevents from previous editions, norms, tables, and additional references that are published on the day of test itself are given. Six CPQ, that is Children Personality Questionnaire, Form A includes Part A, 1A, and Part A2 will be given. One set of scoring keys, 1 and 2 in envelope, two tests, two profile sheets, two copies of worksheet, two copies of computerized answer sheets will be provided in the inventory. The test outline. It has four forms A, B, C, and D. There are 14 items in each of the form, carrying 10 items per factor per form. Each form is broken down into two parts. Thus, Form A is made up of part A1 and A2, each consisting of 70 items. Similar divisions are made from Form B, C, and D. Each item, except the factor B, that is intelligence item, has forced choice, yes and no answer. The items are constructed to be as neutral as possible with regard to the social disability. It is designed to require a normal reading vocabulary of an average child of 8 because the age norms are for the children from between 8 to 12. The test is administered without a time limit, and for younger children, the testing time can be into two parts for a given form. However, one test session should not exceed 50 minutes. What the test measures. There are 14 factors as mentioned over here that are warmth, reasoning, emotional stability, dominance, liveliness, rule consciousness, social boldness, sensitivity, vigilance, abstractness, privateness, apprehension, perfectionism, and tension. The psychometric properties of the test, that is reliability, validity, scoring, and norms. Reliability. The test reliability after a 1 week interval of each item, each of the 14 factors on various tests ranges from 0.28 to 0.87. The Kunder-Richardson Formula 21 show interval consistency ranging from 0.32 to 0.86, which clustering it is 0.70. Validity. The construct validity has been established and its validity indicates both goodness, and hypothesized structures of personality and adequacy of the measure to each of the construct. Scoring of the test. Separate stencils are available for scoring of the answer sheet. Two stencils are required to obtain the 14 raw scores for each of the test forms. The test scores for factors which are low in description and high in descriptions are mentioned over here. Like for the factor A, that is warmthness, if the person scores low in description, that will be a cool, critical, aloof, detached person. And will if a person scores high in the description of warmth, the person will be warm-hearted, outgoing, easygoing, and participating and so on for all the factors. All the factors, the scoring key is mentioned over here. Norms. There are separate norm tables are provided for boys and girls as both the personality differs into the genders. There are three methods of converting raw scores into standard scores, that is standard deviation sense, normalized sense, and percentile rank. Applications and uses of the test. Applications is to gain understanding of those children whose education progress is clearly being affected by personality problems. The to screen out the individual's attention and guide those children who need help with emotional and conflicts and behavioral disorder. Due to this early recognition, many difficulties can be avoided or handled before they become a defensive habit and other complications resistance to the treatment. To aid aid the students in making decisions about future education and vocational goals. Future school achievements and creativity can be more exactly predicted and understood when appropriately weighted personality measures are used to encourage the keeping and meaningfulness of developmental records for children, clinical practice, and work with delinquents and children cohorts all requires and diagnostic instruments which operates and these basic personality concepts to measure the progressive development of characters and personality if the school child keeps test the criteria records or level on emotional maturity, self control, anxiety level, the capacity to control social learning, and such traits. These qualities may eventually receive much more intelligent attention as is now directed to academic grades. It can be conveniently applied either on an individual test or can be conducted in a group test in a classroom. In general, it is useful in evaluating, understanding, and predicting personal adjustment, social development, and academic performance, which is very important in a growing critical analysis. Critical analysis. The CPQ includes all the more adequate research demonstrated dimensions of personality from the general personality sphere and the general personality sphere and thus has wide applicability in both clinical and educational settings. It provides us with more broad and specific measures in personality in terms of an individual's character. However, the standardization sample has not been described in a sufficient detail for objective evaluation, and that the handbook is an unclear as to when the data was collected for an easy standardization sample. There is a very recent data to guide the interpretation of test scores profiles. Also, the scoring and the administration can be very tedious considering the items of the time and the time for separate test sections. The re-examination of the validity of the children personality questionnaire must be done according to its relevant reviewers since its factors are not found to correlate significantly in those of the supposed to measure. Thus, the test can need a lot of revisions and modifications as the result of new research provides even more valid estimate and better psychological understanding of higher order personality structure in young children. These are the references from where I collected the data. Thank you. And